So I came across this story on LinkedIn. It's a real story, which I wanted to share with you because I thought it would be very inspiring to you as it was for me. So this is a story of a professor who was teaching a mathematics course, and a student there fell asleep. And he didn't wake up until towards the end of the class, where he woke up at the sound of another fellow student who asked a question. And when he woke up, he saw that there was two mathematical problems that was presented on the board, and he assumed that these were for homework. And so the class ended, he went back home, and he really tried to tackle these mathematical problems. It was very difficult, not very easy. He thought it would just be easy to find and solve, but it turned out to be more difficult than what he thought. And long story short, he did a lot of research to try to figure out the answers to these questions. And for one of these questions, he actually tackled it and came across the answer. So the next time in class, he was ready with his answers, and he was waiting for the professor to ask to collect the homework, but the professor didn't ask for it. So he raised his hand and he asked the professor, he said, "Professor, can you tell me why you're not collecting or asking for the homework of these questions?" And so the professor replied back and said, "Well, if you was paying attention in class, I told you guys that these two questions were actually not for homework. These two mathematical problems are not solved, and until this day has not been solved." So then the student got excited and said, "Well, professor, I actually worked on these questions, and one of them I found the answer, and here it is." So what is the moral of the story? That sometimes if we are led to believe that we cannot solve a problem, or that this problem has not been solved by others, then we also think that we're not going to be able to solve that problem, and we don't give that effort to do so. So sometimes we have to block out that negativity that comes externally and do our best and zone off any external talk that comes to us. Do our best and solve these problems, and you will find that you are able to do much more than you can imagine. I hope that this was a motivator for you.